Another strategy that all new teachers need to work on is mastering the teacher stare. So when a child is misbehaving or perhaps just talking or being a little rowdy, you need to get into the practice of using the teacher stare. So you're going to look the child right in the eye, and you don't need to say anything. You just look and you stare directly at them, put a little energy into it behind your eyes, and just about the time it feels a little bit uncomfortable, like that you would pull away, I want you to hold it for about another 10 seconds. Just hold it. And what that does, a couple things. It helps the child quiet down, and it stops what usually happens when new teachers do this, is they hold the stare, and as soon as the child stops talking, they start talking again. And the child just goes back to their conversation. So if you want it to have a little power, hold it for a few extra seconds. You can even count in your head. I have a funny story about this. I've managed to use my teacher stare out in the real world as well. So I was waiting for my son to sing in a concert at his school, and I was standing in the foyer waiting to be seated, and there were some girls who were making a lot of noise sitting on the floor, and I turned around and I just looked at them, and they quieted right down. But the funniest part of this story is a teenage girl standing near me who I did not know turned to me and said, "That was so cool." And so yes, I try to use my power for good and not evil. So it actually is a very powerful tool, just the stare. It doesn't have to mean everything, doesn't have to be a consequence. Just staring them directly in the eye and then holding it a little bit longer than you normally would. And I want you to try that and see how that feels. It's the first time you try it, it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. But as you get used to it, it is a really great way to manage slight disruptions or talking or things like that without having to discipline or say anything negative.